Today we got Coach Shane Anderson on the interview. How are we doing today, Coach? How's your weekend going so
Do-
far?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Hopefully, we can come away with a big win
Good,
and
good.
exciting for the people.
Yeah, you guys got rank up. I know. I've talked with them a little bit. I know a little bit like who they are, but what are you? I guess what are you looking forward to this weekend against them?
Well, from them, I expect good competition. Actually, three of our starters on our team came from rank up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we have Evan Cooper, one of our draft picks from
Hmm.
before,
Oh yeah,
Ronald Withers, and Robert Rim.
Robert.
So all three of those guys are starters. I expect the competition level to be high,
Mhm.
and we should have a great game.
Yeah, would it be better than up one? I know.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
I know. I've been I mean, I know that they promote people to like the arena type, and like they've been doing that for a minute. But it's like that team's. It's a joke. It's really just a joke. I was
Man, look, I felt bad for the guys on the field because I mean, the ones that did show up, hey man, hats off to them. You know what I mean? Uh, but like I told my team, I said, you'll never have to worry about going to the other side of the field again.
yeah, because
So
I was watching that and I was kind of like, are they even gonna go out? Like the special teams unit even gonna come out there? Like I was kind of confused. But so I guess the biggest question that I got to start off everything with is so there's a lot of there's a lot of other coaches. Of course, when IFA was getting started and stuff like that. How did you get your chance with the Alabama Beavers? How did that like opportunity come around?
so I had coached previously, and the owner of the team, I've coached against him in multiple levels, and from there, he asked me to come on as a recruiter, a scout, to bring players in. He knew I knew a lot of players and a lot of high caliber athletes. So whenever I was doing that, he also seen the relationship that I had with players and stuff, and through these workouts and things that they were doing at the time, it got brought up that from somebody outside of him said, you really need to just ask him if he wants to be the head coach because he's got coaching abilities and stuff. So that's how it kind of came up. It just came up in a conversation we had one night. And when he asked me, I said, yeah, man, I said, I love these guys and
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to be their coach for sure.
And I was curious, where, what was the highest level you had coached before coming to the IFA or to Alabama, I should say,
Preparatory college.
preparatory college? Okay, okay, okay. I do got another
Yeah.
question: is when you were, I guess, head coach in Alabama, who was the first guy you're like, all right, we got to bring this guy on. We got him like who's the one guy you wanted to get on the team?
Um, I'll tell you, man, it kind of varies, but where I start my focus at is in the trenches.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was looking at the linemen that we had offensively and defensively to be able to bring in, I'm gonna tell you, Brendan Tank Nichols
Oh yeah,
was
Brandon.
one of the first ones. Yeah, he was one of the first ones that stood out to me in a major way. Um, Bringing him on was gonna really sew up that centerpiece for the D line,
Mm-hmm.
and he's been amazing for us this year with the Astros.
I've seen it. I've seen his I'll rewatch the games because I don't really get a time to catch the games. I'll rewatch him and I'll see him fighting with a lot of the linemen, and I'm just like, he's an aggressive guy. I think that's kind of funny.
He is, man. He is. But I tell you, he gives it all for sure, 110% every play.
Uh,
And a lot of times after the whistle, you find out.
mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. So far with the season, I feel like what's one word you could describe like the season of how it's gone so far?
Man, that's a tough question right there, man, because it's been such a roller coaster in the beginning, coming from the Beaver side of things over to the Astros in such a short period of time. Um, m- I would say uh, remarkable.
Remarkable. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, on all aspects.
Yeah, and also coming from Alabama, I should say, what had happened there? What was going on in Alabama or the Beavers where you're like, all right, like this has got to stop. Like no more, you know.
Well, it was some things that was happening in the background and behind the scenes, and when I was shown the the evidence of things, I couldn't have anything to do with that, and so I was gonna either back out and not do anything with it, or when this opportunity here came, Mr. Richardson said, "Hey, I would like to have a team." And I was like, "Well, hey, look, we got all the pieces. We just don't have the deep pockets to back it." And he said, well, he gave us some thought, took a week, and after that, we really moved forward with things in a rapid way. I mean, within 3 weeks, we had to get every piece of equipment, jerseys, all that stuff. You know what I mean? And it was chaotic. It was a roller coaster, like I said.
Hmm.
But
Oh yeah.
when you got somebody behind you and backing you like he has, um, it's it's gonna work. He's gonna make sure it works and everything like that. So that's just what it is and what it comes down to.
Yeah, I was gonna ask actually about him. What was like his want to do this? What was like his drive to want to put a team out in Huntsville?
Well, he was Mr. Richardson was the first person that had the 25,000 taken. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And yeah, so he was already interested in wanting to have a team. Um, and then once everything was done, it came about. He's seen how things in Huntsville were unfolding, and he really wanted to give the people what they deserved out here.
Hmm.
And I feel like he's done his best, um, in and exceeded a lot of expectations from myself, and the coaching staff and the players here.
Hmm.
To make sure this thing went.
I you know I would ask though, um, how how has it been in Huntsville? Like how's like the fan atmosphere been in Huntsville so far? Like so far this season?
Well, at first it was a situation where it's like, well, we just had this situation over here. We don't know if you guys are real or if you're gonna play or what. And then it was such short notice for the fans and stuff. But once we kicked off that first game,
Hmm.
I would say that the fans really, that's when the tide changed.
Hmm.
We've had great feedback from the Huntsville community. We really have, on all levels, kids to grandparents. You know what I mean? It's been really phenomenal out here. The people have taken to it, and that's one of the things I can say. This being the first year. Um, Next year is going to be exciting. It's
Actually,
going to be
yes.
really exciting.
Yeah, no, I
Hmm.
was actually gonna ask about that. I know you guys had just withdrawn from the IFA. Where's your guys' focus shifting now for where you guys want to play next year?
Well, I know, and I've had small talks with the GM and owner. Um, they've got some things in the works, and they've got a plan.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So where we're at right now with it, we're just waiting on after this game here, and then I'll get word on what the next step is. But we're looking for the best level, high level competition that we can get, because that's what I mean, that's what's going to make this thing go.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, would like the indoor game be something that you guys would want to do, or
Hey
maybe?
man, hey, look, the indoor game is an exciting thing,
Oh yeah.
and you have some great leagues out there, AF1, IFL's in the playoffs now. Um, there's always a possibility. I can
Mm,
say
okay.
that.
Yeah, no, because I was gonna say like I'm watching the IFL right now. It's like at the highest level that it's been in the past like 5 years, and it's really insane, and it's something that a lot of teams are gonna like try to jump on pretty shortly here. You know,
I
but
agree. I agree.
definitely, I was gonna ask actually, what was like the main holdup in the IFA right now that caused you guys to just drift away a little bit?
Well, on the business side of things, it was some things that were promised and we didn't receive. And um, with our owner and the way he operates, he's a man of principle, and the things that we didn't receive from the league itself, he's provided out of his own pocket, and it's one of those things like, hey, if he's gonna do it himself, then what are we hanging on over here for? You know what I mean? We see teams all over the place that were, having mutual feelings and things like that. So
Mhm.
I mean, I hope for the success of any league and any team, because I hope for the success of players,
Mhm.
you know, but you can't have certain things happen and think you're going to come out looking real shiny on the other side.
Mhm. Yeah, no, and definitely, I know I'd seen that from a lot of other teams. Tampa Bay was one that had reached out to me like this is not gonna work out, and I had a long conversation with them, and I was kind of like, yeah, I was kind of expecting that to happen in the league right now, and then they also tried to file to join the AF1, and that didn't really work out that well. But
Yeah.
I do know that Ohio Valley looked really great. Like they were looking like they could it was gonna be like a heavyweight head to head match. Like how devastated were you when you found out you weren't gonna be able to play them?
Man, I tell you, that was a blow. That was a crushing blow right there because I was like, man, this is the game that everybody wants to see,
Mm,
and it was. You know, we were on a roll, they were on a roll. I mean, it was the competition that we were playing. You can't really get too much out of it, too much into it. You know what I mean? Because it's like, well, how would they act whenever they play, a above level team? But it was something that our players wanted, our fans wanted, we wanted, but it's understandable. Ohio was in a situation where it just made more sense financially and everything like that to shut it down until 2026.
mm-hmm. Yeah, and
So,
then like the other team you had just played, the Prime. How was that? How was that matchup? How did you guys prepare for that one?
well, we didn't prepare for the monsoon, but
Yeah,
it's
that was
it
funny.
it came in, it was crazy. And we shot ourselves in the foot with a shotgun. It felt like at first, 4.5 minutes into the game,
Mm-hmm.
and we're down 12-0 behind two pick sixes, and then the weather and everything. We had the weather delay, but it's one thing that, like I told the guys, I said, listen, we know what we can do. We know our talent level. We know our coaches and everything that we can put out there. We do this every week. Stay locked in, stay focused. Let's get back to Astro football and let's go and win this game. There's a lot of time left. That was the one thing that benefited us. I'd say that. It was only 4.5 minutes left, so we theoretically had a full game left.
Mm-hmm.
We just basically spotted them 12 points.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know,
Yeah, I was rewatching. I saw those pick sixes, and I was kind of like, where was he going with the ball? I was kind of confused, but he also like that was his first like live reps in like 2 3 years, and he's coming out there and he's a little shaky, and then his feet settles, and then he puts up like 50 points, and I'm kind of like, okay, he's
yeah,
actually a good quarterback.
yeah. Because if you look at it, man, I know going back, I've watched the film, man. That's all I do is watch film. But it was I want to say it was like 6 minutes and 2 seconds left in the third quarter. And from there on to the end of the game, basically a quarter and a half, we scored 31 points.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like one thing that I can say is our defense has stepped up tremendously. Our defensive coordinator Darren Burns, he's always got those guys fired up, and they come through in the clutch moments. We put them in a hole going down 12-0, but they shut it down on every 2 point conversion. They shut it down in the red zones and things like that. So when we need the defense to step up, they step up, and the offense just had to catch up and match them in that game.
And yeah, knowing that was like the only team that like actually put up points against you guys too, and like not even they were even like driving on offense too, and this is supposed to be some semi-pro team, and they're playing good on offense. So I was kind of surprised on that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, man. One thing I can say about Dallas Prime, I followed them for quite a few years now. Uh, Dallas Prime has always had great athletes.
Great athletes.
They've got a great program, a great organization, and on a semi-pro level, I'm gonna tell you, they are known for beating the crap out of people. That's what
Mm-hmm.
they're known for. And when they came here, I expected it to be a good game. I expected them to bring it to us like any real good team should. They didn't come here expecting to lose. I can tell you that. And they gave the fans a great game.
Okay, okay, yeah, and also knowing for like a lot of the like defense and recruiting you guys did, I'm seeing some of the guys you guys have on the roster, and you're getting borderline UFL guys who played in Canada. You're poaching players who are supposed to play in the IFL and AF1. How are you guys like recruiting them? How are you guys getting them on your guys' team and like promising them a better chance to play here than play in the arena when the league didn't really like you guys only got 3 games out. I'm kind of curious how do you guys get them, to come play in Huntsville?
Well, I was over recruiting for the team, and the one thing that I do, um, and I think everybody that recruits should do is, you know, get to know your players. You know what I'm saying? Get to know the guys. I know thousands of players across the United States and abroad and things. And one thing I could say is the players that come in, they come in because they trust you. They trust what you say you mean, and you mean what you say. You know what I mean? So it's you never lie to them. You tell them the truth. This is what this is. This is what it ain't. And that's the one thing as a player. that they can hang their hat on is they came here, they weren't lied to. Anything that happened, they were told about it straight up in front. You know, did things go a different way than what we wish they would have? Yeah, we wish we would have had 8 games, 10 games, something like that. You know what I mean? Played in the IFA, and every team would have been great. You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
it didn't happen that way. But the one thing we can say is, and I tell these guys all the time, we still made it work. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, that's just what I want these guys to know is we went out there, gave them good film, and I mean they've got opportunities after this. I
Mm-hmm.
can tell you that because we do have some very high caliber players on defense.
Oh yeah, no,
Dejon Warren,
Deshaun
he's
Watson.
he's phenomenal.
Yeah, I was gonna ask how did that one because he was promised like a big role in the AF1. He was like, of course, that Firebirds team ends up winning the championship. I was curious, how did you get him recruited on the team?
So Dejon was in the IFA draft, and I had called him probably 2 or 3 weeks before the draft, and I told him, I said, "Hey, if you're here at this spot, I'm going to take you." And I just wanted to know if he was open to coming, and he said, "Absolutely, to get back outdoors, I would love to." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And so went into the draft. He was there. I drafted him at the time with the other team, but we always maintained that communication. And it came down to it. I was actually going to bring in his brother at one point,
Mm-hmm.
Dale Warren. But Dejan had just had something happen with the Firebirds. He went back home, and I just called him up. I said, "Hey," I said, "Do you still want to play?" And he said, "Absolutely, coach." He said, I said, "Well, let's get you down here. Let's get you in, get you ready to go, and you'll play the season with us. If something happens, you can move back up, whatever." I said, "We'll address that then. Of course, we want the guys to move up."
Mm-hmm.
He came down. He's man, that kid is amazing. I can tell you, and not just on the field.
Mm-hmm.
It's the off the field stuff. He's one of the most coachable athletes I've ever seen, and had the pleasure of coaching. And his character, man, he's one of the most inviting, good-hearted, just
Mm-hmm.
genuine people that I've ever met, and
Yeah,
it's been a pleasure coaching.
yeah, it's good to see because I've seen his film and in the IFA and he's looked really good, but also saw his film over and out like because he spent the past couple seasons playing indoor. He's looked incredible, and I was kind of confused. As like, man, like how did you guys land that talent? That's really crazy. But another guy who you were supposed to bring on, as you told me, Javon Antonio. How did you get him? Because he's like wide receiver number 5 in DC, just winning his championship. How did you guys get him recruited on the roster?
Well, Javon was a key piece, and that was knowing people that were inside the Colorado University locker room and stuff like that. So, Javon came on, but we kind of knew he wasn't going to be long. You know what I'm saying? Because he was getting a ton of looks from UFL. You know what I mean?
Mm,
And when that stuff was started ramping up, we knew it's just a matter of time. So right after minicamp, he got the call to come back to come to DC. Sorry, and he's been there all season. Like you said, won a championship. Hats off to him. Great kid, man. Actually from New Orleans and about 30 minutes up the road from me, where I'm at home. And it's nothing but happiness for him.
and not even that, he's looked really good in DC. I was kind of
Yeah,
just like wow, and
yeah.
knowing all that. But have you been in contact with any of the other IFA teams or teams that were like supposed to play and stuff like that? Have you been in contact with them and being trying to work something out?
Yeah, we've talked to pretty much every team.
Mm-hmm.
I've always maintained a good communication amongst the head coaches and GMs and owners of the other teams. And um, there's some big things coming to 2026. I got to get the details to it,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, these teams are gonna make it. They're gonna keep going, and I'm looking forward to it.
I know I'm very I was honestly kind of like shocked. I was like, man, like the deal is like the league didn't do a bad job marketing. I don't think like the problem was marketing. They didn't do like people knew the league was gonna happen. A lot of people did, and they even worked out TV deals. They had everything going on, but everything just you can't do things with no money. Like like oh man.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. People have to be paid,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, when things don't happen the way they should or the way they're said to be done,
Mhm.
then doubt starts creeping into people's minds, and I think that's a part of what happened. I don't know the whole business side of things and that aspect of it. But as a coach, whenever I'm sitting here and I'm seeing teams fall out and stuff, there is a big uncertainty, that creeps in.
Yeah, not even that. It just sounded like everything sounded too good to be true. Everything just sounded way too good to be true, and I was like even I was hearing that everything. I was like, man, like this sounds like the real deal. And I'm telling this to everybody, and then when it doesn't pan out, they're kind of mad at me, and I'm like, I didn't know. Uh,
Yeah.
good time, good time. Looking most forward to in this matchup against Rank Up right now.
Um, Really, I just with these guys having their final game, I want them to go out there and play good, sound football. Get some good film out of it. You know what I mean? And really, man, it's just have fun.
Hmm.
Enjoy the experience. Of course, stay locked in. We got to get the win,
Hmm.
but enjoy the experience, man. This is for some guys maybe their last time being in a pro football game. Um, but some other guys it may be just their last time being in an Astro uniform because they move up. So I just want to see them go out there and have fun and play good football.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely excited for that one. I think I might sit down and try to watch the game. I do know the one thing is with the with some of these games is like, man, the quality just isn't the best, and I just have a hard time watching that one. But
Well, so we had a scheduling issue, man, with our stream service,
mhm.
and so we're not gonna be able to stream this game, but I do have somebody coming to record it, so I'm gonna upload it um, later this evening when I get in, and I'll have it on my YouTube channel. I'll put the link out there though.
Okay, no worries, no worries. Okay, no worries. Okay, well, I guess final question is, or I think final thing you could say to everybody is after the IFA season, what is one thing you want like everybody to remember about the Astros, or to just think about when the Astros come across their mind, be like, yeah, this happened. What are you gonna what are you gonna look forward to like letting everybody know?
We do what we say.
Do what you say. Hmm.
Yeah, we do what we say. When we say we're gonna have a game, we're gonna have a game. When we say we're gonna have a team and we're gonna be a successful team, that's what we're gonna be. When we go out there on that field and we tell you that you're gonna get hit harder than any other team has ever hit you before, that's exactly what we're gonna do, and we're gonna bring the heat to you. So yeah, we say what we're gonna do, and that's what I would say.
Hmm. Yeah, no worries, no worries. Oh yeah, no, I do really appreciate this interview, man. I know, like, I thought the game was gonna be tomorrow. I was kind of like, oh, enjoy a nice little Sunday afternoon, watch, the Astros game and everything. But I mean, I even got fooled and everything. But wish you guys the luck. Best for the team. I really
Hey,
guys hope you guys, of course, get this win against Rank Up, or who knows, maybe they pull something out of their bag and if they just drop 50 out of nowhere. You never know. But
well, that'll be the worst day for our defense.
worse, I know that'll be worse because you
Uh,
just you just never know. But hey, good luck on the game today, and I hope you guys get this win and everything.
hey, Raphael, I appreciate you, man, and thank you for having me on.
Thanks for coming on, Coach. Take care.